Great job, guys. Oh, that was so much fun today. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. For the support.
Get in there, Lewis. That's it, mate. That's the 100.
It's not showing Epic OJ online again now. God's sake. Oh, he's not coming. Yeah, imagine I'm thinking that, mate. I'm thinking I'm just going to do that. It's a nightmare just to put people in order at the back of the grid. I'm just going to scrap it off after this. I'll find a better way to do it, because it's a nightmare having to do this all the time for engine penalties. Right. Right, let me just put them in order. Right, Reese. Then be right. Casper's not in yet, so I can't put him in. It would have been alright if everyone had just pressed started and retired instead of crashing everyone out at the start. Somebody's not in. Epic OJ's not in and Mitch isn't in, no? No, Mitch. Well, yeah, there's Casper. Yeah, Epic OJ and Mitch aren't in. Right, well, yeah, but it's just harder to do the grid. Mitch, so it'd be Mirko next then. Joshua Bear. Joshua Bear, then Jack. And Super Turbo Max. And then Theo. Right, this is where it gets thingy. Right, I need to go to Discord to find this bit. So it'll be Nick starting from the back. He's got an engine penalty. Yeah, he's got a qualifying ban. Then it'll be Ryan. Then it'll be Cryptic. Then it'll be Goldman's and Charker. And then it will be Buy Me Back. Right, and then I need to get Epico. I need to get Mitch in. Epic OJ's throwing up or something. No, beyond Nick had a qualifying ban, not an engine penalty. So, unfortunately, his engine penalty will have to be next week. He's got a qualifying ban. So, where does Thingy go now, Mitch? So Mitch is... Wait, he's behind Merkel, is he? No, he's just in front of Merkel. But then Epic OJ isn't in. Right. I think that's the right order. Let me double check before we go. So Reese, B Right, Casper, Hackmore, Fanfiners, Lewis W, Epic OJ, Mitch, Mirko, Joshua Bear, Jack Z, Super Trubo, Maximo, Theo, Buy Me Back. Then it goes CJ Goldman's, Cryptic, Ryan and Nick. Sweet. Right, ready up, and don't forget your setups. Please, for God's sake, don't forget setups. Right. Who's just left? Oh. Come on, man. Who's just left? Because it's going to ruin the order now. I don't know who it was. Right, it's ready up, let's go. I don't even know who Josh is, Banana. Oh, Josh Robert. Come on. We're about to go, man. I'm not doing this again. It's just too stressful. Lost 20, like 10, 15 viewers. They had to restart the whole game, restart the lobby, restart the everything. Is he taking the piss? He went out to try and get a set up, so now I've got to set him all back up again. Come on, man. It's enough. Right, can we go? Let's go. We need to get in the race. Just do me in. OJ's throwing up or something, so he can't make it. So don't forget your setups, guys. Don't forget your setups. An hour and 20 minutes, and we're only just going into the feature race. Oh, God. Yeah, we're definitely not doing this again. It's too stressful. Right, we are going to go racing shortly. Sorry about all the mess up there. And setups, guys. Remember your setups. We do not restart if you forget your setup. Let's rock and roll. Yeah, I know why that's not working, because the drivers that are in realistic haven't got the realistic roll. Good to go. Formation lap. And we are going to go racing. This is really interesting. So, Reese, B. Wright, Casper and Hackmore, your top four. Nick with that qualifying ban will start from P19. Ryan, I've been in P18. Tyres, let's have a look. So every single driver on the mediums, barring Theo and CJ on the hard, Cryptic and Ryan on the hard. It makes sense now why Reese and Hackmore went for the hards in the sprint, because they knew that we were restarting the lobby, so they would get another set. That's clever. So that is your tyres. So Ryan, Cryptic, CJ and Theo all on the hards. Everybody else on the mediums. Not sure what's happened to my stream. Let's get it back up. So what are your predictions, guys? Who do you think's going to win? So they are all lining up. So here we go for round 10 here in Formula 7 Realistic for the Belgian Grand Prix in Spa-Francorchamps, as they all line up. it will be Reese that leads them away. It will be B Right, his championship rival. Fanfordus, the championship leader, down in P5. He will not like that. So, this is it. Here we go. So, we are going to go racing once again here in Formula 7 Realistic, sponsored by Sim Racing Setups. And it is lights out and away we go. Down towards turn 1, the Ferrari cuts right in front of the McLaren, gets in front of him already. And down the inside goes Casper in the Red Bull. They do nearly touch, but the McLaren is quicker out of the chicane. Fanfordus is already through on Hackmore. The Ferrari driver having to settle back in for P5 behind Fanfordus. Joshua Bear in the Alpine goes wheel to wheel with the kick Sauber. You don't want to go wheel to wheel through there. Joshua Bear is off the track, comes back on in front of Maximock in the Haas. And CJ3000 and Ryan Divavina going at it, and that is Casper that goes into the lead of the Grand Prix. There goes B Right in the McLaren, who's now into the lead, but the Red Bull will have the inside line, and Reese is down to P3. B Right in the McLaren has been overtaken by that Scuderia once more, and lunges up the inside goes Fanfordus in the Mercedes, and already it is getting very tasty here in Belgium. So Fanfordus down to P6. He's had a slight mistake, and there goes Hackmore on B Right, and he will not be backing out of that. He's got nothing to lose at this point, but they still need to be careful. Lewis is up to P5, so he's in a great position for his teammate as Fanfordus tries to lunge it up the inside, but Lewis W will definitely not be letting him through, and Joshua Bear is around. Ryan Davin is up 3 places now. Goldman's is up 4, and so is Cryptic. And they are all locked in that DRS train at the moment. Theo makes a mistake. Back has to just back out to avoid any contact. But it is Casper that leads. So Reese in P2, then comes Hackmore in P3, B Right in at P4, and then Lewis W in P5. That is CJ going through. Ryan Dadvine's lost the position. He's had to back out there as the Sauber goes through. He's down to P17. But I tell you what, Hackmore was leaving no prisoners down the inside of Pujon, was he? So B Right has to just settle back in with Lewis W, Fanfordus and Mirko. So you got 2 Ferraris, 2 McLarens, 2 Mercedes, a Sauber, a Williams, 2 Haas drivers. So here comes Hackmore and Reese. They are chasing down Casper in the lead of the Grand Prix. Down towards Les comes. He will go around the outside. The Red Bull driver tries to stick it up the inside. They give each other the space. And that's a phenomenal overtake by Reese. The man who's fighting for the World Drivers' Championship is back into the lead here in Spa Francorchamps. But it is Hackmore in the other Ferrari behind the Red Bull now. This is fantastic stuff. What a race we're going to have here. Strategy is going to play a massive part. We are on lap 2 of 22. So looking down the grid, they're all starting to settle in. Mitch is the one who needs to bridge the gap to Mirko in front. The Racing Bull of Goldman's. And then Ryan Davine not able to make up any moves in that Red Bull at the moment. But I think he'll just be waiting. He'll have to be patient and not make any moves that could cause him damage. And then we have all 19 drivers still on the grid and hardly any incidents really, which is always amazing to see. So down in towards the bus stop chicane goes Reese in the lead in that Ferrari. He is 98 points I think behind Fanfordus in the championship, so he definitely needs a good victory here in Belgium. And then Casper in the Red Bull in P2, the reserve for Red Bull. Hackmore, B Right, Lewis W being in front of Fanfordus is massive for the likes of Reese and B Right. That is Theo and Ryan. Ryan goes up the inside of Lassource, gets his foot down earlier. Can he? Oh, and he has to back out there, Ryan. Here comes Casper on Reese. He has the slipstream this time, moves over to the inside line, and the Oracle Red Bull is back in to the lead here in Belgium. The Ferrari of Hackmore has B Right all over the back of him. Will any strategies start to come into play? That is Nick that is through on Joshua Bear. Joshua Bear smashes it up the inside and collides with Cryptic, who is into the gravel. Cryptic's just come back on the track and smashed right into Theo. And Joshua Bear, what was he thinking? So that has caused damage to the few drivers, and that is the Alpine with a missing end plate as Cryptic came dangerously back on track. So collision already. Casper back into the lead. The two Ferraris in P2 and P3. Yeah, a bit of a big one that, Red. So be right, Lewis W, Fanfners, Mirko, and then they've got that 1 second gap to Mitch behind. That's the first incident though, so just unfortunate it was him. So down towards the bus stop chicane, heading towards lap 4 here in round 10. And it is Casper in the Red Bull that leads with the two Ferraris, two McLarens, two Mercedes, all chasing him down. The other Red Bull has an engine penalty. He's down in P16. So the two Ferraris know they have to get through on the Red Bull. Hackmore still a little bit slower than Reese to get out of the source. And that's why Be Right is all over his rear wing. You've got Nick going back through on Joshua Bear into the source. Down towards Arouge. And the Alpine driver will chase down the Sauber. And that is Theo that's out of the Grand Prix. Here comes Be Right. He's a 10th behind Hackmore. He pulls back. That is Goldman's on Super Turbo, the Racing Bull. And there goes the two Haas drivers. They swap around. Joshua Bear is back through on the kick Sauber of Nick. And Theo is out of the Grand Prix. You could have got a safety car at any point, but I understand, yeah, Theo, I completely understand that, mate. It was ridiculous to come back on track in front of you like that. I completely understand your frustrations. I'd be fuming. Well, I lost my head here. So I can't say anything. So Casper still leads. And it is two Ferraris. Let's have a look where the tyres are. So it is CJ in the best position on them harder compounds. And all the drivers have settled in really well. Mitch just sort of in no man's land. He's 1.8 behind the front train and sort of 2.2 behind the train behind him. So he's sort of in that grey area. So Ryan Davine is through now on Nick, and he'll also go for the move, and he backs out. That's, you know what, really good racing that from Ryan. He's just thinking about it. And here he goes up the inside of the bus stop chicane. The Alpine will leave in the space. Great side-by-side racing. He has to leave the space for the Alpine on the inside, and that is beautiful from the Red Bull driver and Nick as well in the Sauber. That is how you go racing. Joshua Bear being a part of that action as well, just hits the back of Nick going in towards the source and has a snap of the Alpine, and he's all over the place now. So Casper down towards Les Combs, still nobody can touch him. Lewis W trying to stay with his teammate. I think if I was B right now, being 4 attempts behind Hackmore, I would probably slow down to give him a little bit of DRS. CJ and Maxi, CJ in the Racing Bull on them hard compounds is through, and CJ up to P12. Remember, he's the leader of the harder runners. I don't know if B-Right could slow down enough to give Lewis W that DRS now. So Fanfness chasing down Lewis W. Fanfness is one that's lost DRS as well. So Joshua Bear being overtaken by Me Back. Be Right on the back of Hackmore, but Lewis W has lost a lot of time to Be Right. But I tell you who else has lost a bit of time to Be Right? Fanfness. So interesting. The championship leader is the one losing out massively to Be Right. Joshua Bear leaves the session, so he needs to get back in. So here comes Reese on the back of Casper. Into the bus stop chicane we go. Reese and the Ferrari. Hackmore, Be Right. And this is where it starts to get interesting, because Lewis W is now 2 seconds behind his teammate. So what is Reese going to take the lead of this Grand Prix? Here we go. And the Ferrari driver into the slipstream he goes. What about Fanfness on Lewis? Fanfurness will get the move done on the Papaya McLaren. They do go wheel to wheel, so does Reese and Casper. And Reese is into the lead of the Grand Prix once again. Lewis W and Fanfurness go squabbling. And now Fanfurness is 2.4 behind that train. And the McLaren is in the middle of the two Mercedes. Ryan Dipavini is through on the Kick Sauber. But it is Reese back into the lead on lap 6. Remember, them medium compound tyres do not last long. Josh Powercut, join the virtual chat on the iPhone. Right. Yeah. Okay. Fanfurness is already starting to catch up because he's in free air. He's not stuck behind that train. And Casper's nearly lost DRS to Reese. Reese is really pushing. Goldman's is out. Goldman's has crashed it. Oh my God. It is a safety car. Goldman's has binned it in that Racing Bull. And that is a safety car. Exactly what we thought there might be. And that means Theo probably could have come back in it. That means all the drivers are going to pit. And Hackmore is going to have to double stack in that Ferrari. They are trying to slow down. And the Ferraris are going to lose time. I think B. Wright and Fanfurness could potentially end up in front of Hackmore here. Because they are going to double stack. Look at that. He's losing time. The Ferrari driver. Is he going to come out behind B. Wright and Fanfurness? So Reese will come back out into the lead, Casper in P2, and it is B. Ryan Fanfurness that come out in front of Hackmore. Incredible. So the Ferrari's double stacked, and he's lost out to the McLaren and the Mercedes. Wow. Yeah, well, if the car does anything, Todge, unfortunately that falls back on Josh, unfortunately. So I'm hoping he can get back in and just sort his car out. So Reese does lead to Casper in P2. Is this enough to get to the end on hard compounds? The drivers who started on the hard compounds, this is awful for them. Really awful. So the safety car is out. Will the safety car be in this lap? They are really long laps underneath the safety car, so hopefully it will. Because everyone's grouped back up. Let's go racing. Come on. Come on, the FIA. Get in there. Tell them. Tell them we want to go. No, we are going to do another lap behind the safety car for no reason whatsoever. What's going on, Just Sling? How we doing? Oh, Tojo, completely. You cannot just rejoin the track like that because you've gone off. Absolutely. I completely agree. It was really bad. Ultimately, though, it is caused from Joshua Bell lunging up the inside of Nick and Cryptic and taking them out. But you are then... It's on your own responsibility to then rejoin the track safely, and he didn't do that, so yeah. So, the top 11 drivers, all on them hard compounds after 8 laps because of this safety car, so surely they will go to the end. Ryan Dipavini's up to P6, he's on old hard. He has stayed out. I don't think that's a bad decision, really, because mediums are not going to get you to the end. So not a bad strategy from Ryan Diperveen. Let me just say that right now. That is a good strategy. 14 laps to go here in Belgium. The tyres get ruined. So he has done a good job because he's going to nurture them tyres now under the safety car. I did, Todd Joe. I got it on stream, yeah. I got it all on stream. So the safety car will be in this lap, and we are going to go racing again. I've just uploaded the clip, mate. It should be on TikTok or whatever in about 30 seconds. It's under Action Packed and Impatient is the title, so you'll find it. Here we go. God, this is a long night of racing. So into the bus stop chicane for Reese as he leads the safety car restart. Casper is all over the back of him. B-Right getting very close to the Red Bull, and off we go. Reese sets us back underway as we go down up towards La Source at turn 1 as they all trail through like a snake, and there goes Jack and CJ, and it is CJ in the racing bull that comes out just in front, and then Cryptic on the back of Nick. But look at Fanfinus now all over the back of the McLaren in front, who chases down that Ferrari. Is the Mercedes going to empty the tank? He's trying to get in front of him. Here comes Casper on the back of that Ferrari, and it is the McLaren that nearly clatters into the back of the Oracle Red Bull as Reese still leads. Then comes the Red Bull, the McLaren, the Mercedes and the Ferrari of Hackmore, and that is B-Right that's been overtaken. What has happened there? It looked like he gave the position up. It looked like he let Fanfinus through. Nick is through on Maxi Block, the Sauber on the Haas. He now has one Haas down, one to go, and Cryptic in the Williams is there. That is Joshua Bear in the Alpine at the back. So Reese to Casper to Fanfinus now. What about CJ? He is through on Super Turbo going down in towards P1, and then Cryptic on Maxi Block. I'm just not sure what happened then. He knows if he didn't let the team. Yeah, I don't know. No. It just looked like he pulled over to the left and let him through. Maybe it's a tactical decision, maybe, I don't know. So we'll see. So the McLaren driver is now 8 tenths behind Fanfinus. I've got a feeling he's probably let him go to go and battle the front. So here comes Fanfinus in towards the bus stop chicane, and that is the Red Bull that slips and slides, and the Red Bull driver losing a position. He outbraked himself, just slid through the bus stop chicane, and he's now down to P3. So up towards La Source we go. Here comes Hackmore in the Ferrari, on the back of B-Right in the Papaya McLaren, then Casper. Fanfinus is 1.1 behind Reese. He's already clear, and this is the exact position that Reese needed to find himself in. And B-Right will chase down Casper, and look at this, he is closing the gap. They will have DRS now as well. And then you have Hackmore behind in the Scuderia. What about Lewis W? Oh, and Ryan Diperveen, he's on them fresher tyres. And Lewis W is through on the Dutchman. Nick is also through on Jack, and that is Casper. And Fanfinus going at it. Casper did get back through on the Mercedes. Is this what B-Right was hoping for when he let Fanfinus go through? For him to go and battle with Casper, who's now up into P2, the Red Bull driver. But B-Right has definitely got the pressure on. He's got Hackmore on his tail. That is not where you want to be, with a Ferrari behind you like that, pressing and putting the pressure on. So We shall see, but Reese is 2 seconds clear. He is absolutely flying now. So Reese is in prime position. He's exactly where he wants to be in sort of this time in the race. So down towards Blanchimont. And Fanfitness is closing the gap. He's closing the gap to the Red Bull. Is he going to go for it? The Mercedes driver holds off. They both hold off. They are losing time, trying to play that DRS chicken. It is the Mercedes on the back of the Red Bull. The McLaren is there, the Ferrari. And because they are playing DRS chicken, they are literally gifting. I don't think Fanfitness and B. Wright are even concerned about Reese at this point in the race. I don't think they are even concerning Reese in this battle. They know he's going to win. They know he's clear. But because of the points difference in the championship, they're thinking about each other at this point. So Reese is possibly going to take the win and start to bridge that gap in the championship. And these two are just thinking about each other at the moment. But is that the right thing to do? Down towards Les Combs we go. CJ is from Ryan Dappervine, the Racing Bull on the Red Bull. And now Fanfitness is still trying to chase down Casper, who's in P2. So they are concentrating on each other, but I think it would be silly to underestimate Reese at this point in the championship. We are at the halfway point, and surely he is still in with a shout if he carries on banging out these race wins. But to me, it looks like they're concentrating on where each other are going to finish rather than where the Ferrari is. And I tell you what, if the Ferrari wins this and it stays like this, he's already took 10 points out of Fanfitness and 12 out of B. Wright, 13 out of B. Wright. So that is a massive gap that's been taken down. So the DRS train goes all the way down to P11 from P2. And it's anybody's guess how this Grand Prix is going to end up going. So yellow flags wave. Here comes Fanfitness again. And they did slow down once more. B. Wright in the McLaren. Fanfitness in the Mercedes. Casper in the Red Bull. 3.5 seconds behind. So we ride on board. And Fanfitness is closing that gap to that Red Bull. And here he goes up the inside of the source. And I think he actually tried to go for it there. And he is going to get that DRS down towards Les Combs. So surely now. And I tell you what, if the McLaren is close enough as well, this might be a double loss of position for Casper. Here comes the Mercedes and the McLaren. They'll both get DRS. They've both got slipstream. They'll both move over to the left and right. They're going to go 3 wide in towards Les Combs. It is the McLaren and the Mercedes that go through. The Mercedes pushes the McLaren off. And he hits the Red Bull. And the Mercedes is down to P4. And that might also be a penalty, as the McLaren's having to give the position back to the Mercedes for an illegal overtake. That has caused damage to Hackmore. That is really bad. The Ferrari Hackmore, I think, has got damage, but that was so silly there. And we knew that fireworks would come, and they have come early. I think McLaren might be getting that team statement out. Oh. So Lewis W through on Mirko. Yes, Fanfitness has got slight front wing damage, and so has Mirko. And Casper is still holding off on that Mercedes. Lovely. I gotta say salute. In fact, no, I won't say that. It's nothing to do with me. Oh, and Casper goes later on the brakes. Oh my God! He's slammed on the brake pedal and he's given B. Wright wing damage. B. Wright has now got wing damage. So has Fanfitness. B. Wright's got a missing end plate. This is becoming a very dirty race. And Hackmore goes up the inside. The Ferrari driver, the McLaren, leaves him the space. And oh my God, this is getting... Oh, it's turning into one of them races that I didn't want. So Mitch is through on CJ 3000. Here comes Hackmore. And B. Wright, with that wing damage, is going to have to pit, surely. So, this is going to turn into a really bad race. So, Mitch and CJ going at it into Les Combs once again. A little nudge towards each other. Oh, Mitch just absolutely sideswipes that racing ball, turns him around, and now he's down into P10. What is going to happen with these drivers? To be honest, B-Rad doesn't look like he's losing much time, but it will be so hard to control that McLaren with no end plate. So it's all blowing up again, and I'm absolutely positive there will be stewards involved directly after this race. So Reese leads by 6 seconds to Casper, and then Fanfitness in P3, B-Right in P4, then you've got Hackmore in P5. It does say Fanfitness, on my system, it does say Fanfitness has slight wing damage. It doesn't look like he's missing an end plate, so it must just be minor damage to the front wing. I thought Dennis had a wing damage, but he hasn't. Mirko does, though. He's got a missing end plate as well, Mirko. These medium runners are going to have to pit soon as well. Yep, CJ into the pits. What about Ryan Dyperveen? So, Fanfitness in the Mercedes, still chasing down Casper. B-Right still with him. I think the drivers like Mirko and B-Right will just stay with the pack at this point now, try and stay within DRS range, get to the end of the race, and we'll report what we need to report. But it'll be very tough to stay with these guys. Joshua Bear and CJ both into the pits. Joshua Bear is AI, he's not here. That is Jack, that is through on Cryptic, and Nick, that is through on Ryan Dyperveen, the two Dutchmen swapping round. Very tasty in this Grand Prix, but what a drive from Reese. He is way out in the clear. You can't even see the drivers in the distance. There they are, coming around the corner with no name at turn 11. He is Salute. So Reese, what a phenomenal drive from him. He has been left out in the clear, and the plan worked. The drivers behind began to battle, and Reese took his opportunity and sped away. Exactly what he wanted the drivers behind to just squabble with each other. Oh, Hackmore's disconnected. Unbelievable. So he's going to be overtaken by Mirko. That means Lewis is up to P5 now. Oh, this is awful for Dennis, the Ferrari driver. Yeah, take your time. I can't do that. This is awful for Dennis. AI is back in. AI is on 75, so he won't lose as much as he usually would. So Fanfitness and B-Right on the back of Casper. I hope it don't pit him. Cryptic's into the pit lane. It didn't pit him. He is back in now, thankfully. So here comes B-Right and Fanfitness with Lewis W. They are going to chase down Casper, but it doesn't look like they are going to go for a move. Wow, 7 laps to go here in Belgium. It's been a long race. There goes Super Turbo. Super Turbo is rounding the Williams, and he's pulled out right in front of the Red Bull and giving wing damage. What is wrong with the two Williams drivers? Cryptic and Super Turbo both rejoining the track unsafely. Just no consideration at all for the drivers behind. So unfortunate. Ryan with that wing damage now, and his debut for Red Bull goes from bad to worse. This is so bad. So, one Red Bull is in P2, the other on his debut with wing damage again. So, can Casper in the Red Bull pull off some decent points? We've got a Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, McLaren, 1, 2, 3, 4, one of each constructors in the top 4. And both Saubers in the points, Mitch and Nick. Wow, can you imagine that? So, I don't understand the strategy here. Are they waiting? So that is Ryan Dyperveen in the pit lane. And he has retired. That will be a cost to us of 5 million quid. Oh, I'm bloody skint as well. So, Reese, is Casper going to be overtaken as Fanfurness? He cannot close him down. I tell you who is closing him down. That is Hackmore on Mitch. The Ferrari's from the Sauber, and Mitch lets him glide by there. And Lewis W is now within DRS range of B Wright. Remember, B Wright with that missing end plate, and so does Mirko. To be honest, they're doing really well considering they've both got missing end plates. Fanfurness still yet to make that move on Casper though, as the race has started to settle down. Oh, B Wright has picked up a 3-second time penalty. That means he will lose the position to Lewis W and potentially to Hackmore when he gets back past Mirko, because he's got front wing damage, which means he's not gonna keep that position, because everybody will start to catch him. And CJ picks up a 3-second time penalty as well. It's cost him podiums and so many points this season, them time penalties, CJ. And once again picks up another. So Fanfurness still trying to close the gap to Casper. Hackmore is right on the back of Mirko. So look how close Fanfurness is now to that Red Bull. They are 8 seconds clear of Reese in front. And towards a Rouge, they will have that DRS. At some point, he's going to have to go for this overtake. So down the Kemmel Straight we go. Rear wing wide open, but once again, Casper just seems to have so much straight line speed. Cryptic is out in the pit lane. Cryptic is out in the pit, so not only... Oh, and that is Mirko and Hackmore going at it. Hackmore is off the track. Mirko in the Mercedes trying to defend against the Ferrari. This is a battle for the constructors. Mirko defending the inside line. It's a scrappy battle. It's exactly what both teams would have wanted, for them to battle each other. The Mercedes goes around the outside of the Ferrari, and Hackmore has to settle back in for P7, and it's amazing defensive driving from Mirko, and the Italian man would have got the nod from his Romanian team principal to say, listen here, you keep that Ferrari behind you, and it's a Sergio Perez-esque task from Mirko as he keeps that Scuderia at bay behind. So in towards turn 16 at Kerber Paul Frere. So here he comes for round 2. Hackmore on the back of Mirko. He's going to go up the inside of Blanchimont, and he does make it through. Will Mirko try and come back down in towards the bus stop chicane? And Mirko is going to have to settle back in for P7. I think he's done his job. He's held off Hackmore, and he's now 4 seconds behind the two McLarens, and he's well behind Fanfurness in that Mercedes, and I think that's what the job was. But you never know, Mirko will get that DRS down the Kemmel Straight. Is he able to come back at him? Hackmore, in the Ferrari did get a good exit out of Lassoz, so it'd be very tricky from here for Mirko to make that move, but you never know. Down the DRS straight, he's actually closed the gap. He'll get that DRS. Will he be able to come back in front of the Ferrari? Here comes Mirko in the Mercedes, and he is. He's going to take it right back out of the hands of the Scuderia and the Mercedes driver. Wheel to wheel, the Ferrari goes off the track. He goes too late on the brakes, and now the Sauber of Mitch is there, and the two Ferrari powered cars, and Hackmore is down to P8. The frustration starting to kick in for the Belgium driver, who's just transferred from the Sauber to the Scuderia Ferrari. So another great defensive display from Mirko, and I tell you what, with B Wright having this 3-second time penalty, the only person that's really benefiting at the moment with Mirko defending like that is B Wright in the McLaren, because he would have definitely lost that position. And Lewis W, what does Lewis W do in this position? This will be interesting, because he doesn't have a time penalty, but he has 5.5 seconds to Mirko behind. If he does what I think he's going to do, that is the ultimate teammate, the ultimate goal, and the ultimate team principal strategy there. So, Fanfinish chasing down Casper as we go on to lap 19. Up towards La Source we go. He backs out again. He doesn't go for it. In towards La Source. The McLaren's all over the back of him. Lewis W is there. Mitch is going to try and attack Mirko, but he does go close. He hits the back of that Mercedes. And Hackmore and Mitch are both queuing up to get a chance at that Mercedes AMG as they go in towards Arouge. What about Fanfinish? He's still not close enough to make that move on Casper. There is yellow flags, and I don't know who that is. I think it might be the Alpine. Beimerbach is into the pit lane. The Aston Martin driver. Here comes Mitch on Mirko. He's not close enough. He goes later on the brakes. Mitch in the Mercedes. Sorry, Mirko in the Mercedes. Mitch in the Sauber. And the Mercedes is holding on for dear life. Just remember, he's got a missing end plate. And Mirko is having the defensive drive of the season as Hackmore goes wide and Mitch just backs out. And just says, go on, regain your bearings again and go again as Hackmore tries to attack the Mercedes for the 4th lap in a row. Wow, so we are about to go on to lap 20. Reese has drove an outstanding Grand Prix here in Belgium. He is leading by nearly 10 seconds. Then you have Casper in P2 in that Red Bull and Fanfinish in the Mercedes P3. Then the McLaren in P4. But Lewis W will take that position off him if it stays like this. So CJ picks up another time penalty, and that's what I'm saying. If he can spend some time at Racing Bulls and get rid of them penalties that he gets every race, he could potentially move back into Red Bull. So the Ferrari and the Sauber going at it again. Mitch is not giving him an inch here, and they do go wheel to wheel, and the Ferrari of Hackmore is finally through on the kick Sauber down in towards La Source. They are now 8 seconds behind the McLarens, and one of which has got wing damage, and all because of Mirko's defensive style driving. So Fanfinish on Casper, still not able to catch up. CJ's into the pit lane. So Hackmore will have that DRS down towards Les Combs. Is he going to go for it? No, he's just too far away. He tries to switch it back up the inside. The Mercedes, and here goes the Ferrari. He's got to be tactical about this, and the Ferrari is trying his luck. He's going to have to go the long way round. The Mercedes positions that car to the inside line to avoid Hackmore being able to get through. And once again, Mirko, incredible stuff, and I cannot tell you how frustrating it is for a driver to be stuck behind another driver and not be able to get through because of how well they're defending. And look at him, he's just wiggling and saying, it's so frustrating. And there's nothing you can do because you're a clean driver as well. You can't just go smashing through on standard damage as well in realistic. Yeah, it's an incredible drive, and it's so well executed. Mitch made a mistake, and now Nick is all over the back of him. So what about Fanfinish down in towards the bus stop chicane? I've got a feeling the bus stop chicane is going to be where Fanfinish tries to overtake Casper on the final lap. So on to lap 21 we go. 2 laps remaining here in Spa, and it is Hackmore all over the back of Mirko once again. Surely this will be it. This will be where Hackmore gets him. And both of them have got a full tank of battery. Yeah, both waiting for that final lap. Oh, and another slip and a slide from Hackmore. He's struggling. Let's just have a look at the tyres. 14 laps for all the drivers. And Fanfinish not able to get close enough. Here comes Hackmore on Mirko. Let's have a look at the tyres. So they are on 45%. Mitch's are on 60%. So here comes the Ferrari on the Mercedes, and once again Mirko doing exactly what he's been doing for the last 6 or so laps, and he's defending against the Ferrari. He moves to the inside line as they go down towards Brussels. The Ferrari this time will go later on the brakes. The Mercedes will have the inside line, but they will switch it back. The Scuderia might just about be through, and he is through. And finally Hackmore has got the job done. But wow, that was incredible from Mirko. And Dennis, the driver that he is, he will always find a way through in the end. So this is the Interesting question. Does Fanfness go for that P2? I tell you what, Lewis is losing DRS to be right. Oh, they are doing it. They are doing it. This is quite incredible. What if the drivers in front get penalties? Lewis could potentially be throwing away a podium for his teammate here. Wow. So they are doing what I thought they were going to do. And Lewis, genuinely, he is the ultimate teammate. Here go the Saubers, wheel to wheel. And Nick is through on Mitch. He is genuinely the ultimate teammate. If you ever went into a race and wanted a teammate, Lewis would be that teammate. He is quite an incredible person when it comes to teamwork and support. And he has dropped the 3 seconds behind B Wright that he has as a penalty. That is phenomenal stuff. So if B Wright, I tell you what, CJ sets the fastest lap. If B Wright or somebody like that, if Fanfness gets a penalty post race, B Wright now will probably go up a position instead of moving down a position, which is just extraordinary knowing that he's got a time penalty. Even Casper as well. But Reese, this is his race from start to finish. He has been absolutely phenomenal. Fanfness has slight front wing damage. B Wright has a missing end plate. Mirko has a missing end plate, but it has not stopped him here this evening. I said Fanfness was probably going to go for that overtake down towards the bus stop chicane. Every time they've gone towards Blanchimont, Fanfness has been extremely close to Casper, and I'm pretty sure this is where he's going to go for it. Down towards Blanchimont, he's going to empty the tank towards the bus stop chicane. Is he going to be close enough to try and take that P2 away from the Red Bull? The championship leader doesn't need to take any risks, but it is Reese, the Scuderia, the man from Maranello, wins here in Spa. The Belgian Grand Prix goes the way of the British driver. Fanfness takes P3 after Casper takes P2 and B Wright takes P4. 7 tenths in front of his teammate who slowed down to give him the gap that he had a penalty for. Wow, what teamwork from the Papayas. But the two McLarens, P4 and P5. And then Hatmore in P6, Mirko in P7. A double Sauber points finish, 8 and 9 for them. And the Williams of Super Turbo finishing inside the points pre-penalties, because I'm pretty sure they will be something post. But what a great Grand Prix, what a great race. Very good to watch. Yeah, but Reese on the top step. And then the Swedish driver in P2 in the Red Bull. And the Dutchman in P3 in the Mercedes. So let's go to the final standings. Reese is your race winner. Fastest lap is CJ. Driver of the day is Nick. And CJ with the most overtakes. So let's have a look at this race. So it is Reese that wins. Then... yeah, all the way down to P9. Who's in P9? That is Nick. And P10, P11 in the Haas is Jack. And then P15 in the Alpine is Joshua Bear. And then P16 is Cryptic. 17, P18 is Goldman's. And then 19 is Tojo, and then Epic OJ is P20, and he did not start. So, driver of the day. My driver of the day is going to go to Nick. From 19th on the grid to P9 in a Sauber, and his debut Grand Prix in the Sauber is brilliant. So, yeah. Whew. What a race. So I don't know if anybody's joining for interviews. I am in the commentary box. Reese is joining, and I'll see if Famfinus is joining as well. 1 second. One second, guys. Just wait and see. So, I don't think he is joining. So we'll go straight on to your race winner. So your race winner in Belgium for Spa in the Scuderia Ferrari. Reese, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Very good race. Very happy.
Mate, what a race. You've just won the Belgian Grand Prix with a safety car included in that by 10 seconds. That must feel good.
Yeah, no, 100%, mate. Obviously, came into this race thinking it was going to be difficult with the tyre wear, especially with the Ferrari. So had to, was managing throughout the race once I had the gap. But yeah, definitely a well executed race.
Yeah, it definitely was, mate. And you started on pole position. Was it a little bit sketchy at the start of the Grand Prix? Obviously you dropped. I think you dropped down to P2. I think it was, and then you were right in the middle of that battle with like Casper and Famf and B Right and all that sort of stuff. There was a lot going on.
Yeah, so on the straight it went 3 wide into Lecom, sort of backed out, and then they came together on the exit. So came down the inside of both of them, managed to hold P1, and then Famfinus creeped up the inside, and then going through No Name's corner. Sort of, that was coming together there. I know that gave me a bit of time, but yeah, it was just about managing the race. Obviously, had the tyres with the safety car. We knew we wanted to go to the end. We didn't know if it's possible, but then once I had the gap, started managing. So yeah, was pretty comfortable at the end of the race.
Oh, absolutely.
Very good.
Yeah, it was definitely a comfortable race for you. You managed it so well, and when you're that far in the clear, you can then sort of take your foot off the throttle a little bit and just enjoy it and make sure you don't make any mistakes and things like that because you're so far clear. Lastly, looking forward into the championship, you have now just taken 10 points away from Famfinus and 13 away from B Right. Are you still eyeing up that top spot?
Yeah, definitely, mate, 100%. Obviously, Casper finishing P2 today definitely helped my chances.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know there was a few incidents on lap 1s, so we'll see what the stewards have to say about that. I don't think I'll be involved in any of them. I would be very surprised if I was. But yeah, obviously unlucky for Dennis today. He was looking like he was going to have a P4, maybe even P3. He definitely would have finished ahead of B Right. With that 3-second time penalty. Lewis dropped back for Ben, which obviously was the right thing to do, obviously leading both championships.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the gap's now like 68 points, I believe, between me and Famfinus, something like that. But yeah, we just got to keep working that gap down race by race, and mistakes will come, and then there'll be opportunities opening up. But obviously, it's a long shot.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Reese, and there's still 9 rounds to go, but if they keep going like this, you've taken your 3rd win of the season here this evening. It's been an incredible Grand Prix to watch, so congratulations on a magnificent race victory and a dominant display as well, mate.
Cheers, Nathan.
Thank you, mate. So we will just, Famfinus just joined the party, so we'll just jump in board with Famfinus. So your P3 driver, your podium sitter and your championship leader, Famfinus, how was that one, mate?
Well, it felt nice, to be fair, with wing damage for like half the race.
Yeah, seen that, because I said to Salute, I said he's got wing damage on my system, and he said, "Oh well, it doesn't look like it, but it was minor damage, weren't it, to your front wing?"
It was like lime green. It was like just that little bit of more tint.
Yeah, because it come up on my system to say you had wing damage.
Yeah, I got it with like the tank would be right, and what was it? Clock. Oh, I forgot his name. Sorry.
Casper.
Casper. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, a little bit. We went 3 wide. Maybe I overshot it a bit. Ben tried to still be on track. I don't know. He just didn't take his chances. Then I got tapped. Got wind damage. Ben gave the position back, which I think was the right thing to do. But doesn't matter for the ring damage, of course. That was done.
Yeah.
But I managed it with Casper. Could just stay on with him in the second sector. He just didn't train as much as I did, and could stay with him. Maybe had some chances a bit, but not really trying to go for it. Just trying to manage it to Ben. At the end, tried, but if the move was never really 100% certain. So not gonna take any chances with that. Would have maybe been alongside, but not gonna take a chance with that.
No, I agree. There's no point taking chances when you're leading the championship. And to try and make a move up the inside for the sake of one position when your championship rivals behind you, it just doesn't make any sense. So I do think you made the right decision. It was a bit scrappy during the start. It was a bit scrappy in the middle. There was that front wing damage. There was a bit of a tangle between you and B Right. But all in all, are you coming out of this race satisfied? You've got some decent points on the board again. The only person that finished in front of you was Reese.
Yeah, I don't need to make too much mistakes with this. Especially at the beginning of the race with Ben, maybe I was a bit too greedy. Maybe he should have left our space and not run into the gravel. Yeah, it's all a bit hard in that corner, of course, with no name.
Yeah.
It's all a bit understory, so yeah, we can live with that. Fought my way back. Other tangle, I don't know. Need to see more sides. I felt like I was more ahead. He should have not let his nose be in there, but it was also very tight, of course, for me with the 3 wide. And yeah, it's just a bit hard to predict everything there.
Yeah.
It's also a bit, so yeah, maybe Clark would have been in there as well, and then it would all be gone to oblivion, and then it's all just one pile of debris. But no, yeah, satisfied, of course. Only lost 1 point to Ben. Lost a bit more points to Reese, and yeah, if that's how this rest of the season will go, I just need to be more focused on Reese. But I think my time will come again with a win, and then I think it's will be more clear then.
I agree, because you've had 5 wins already this season. You've only had, if this is another podium today, which means out of the 10 races, you've only had 1 where you've not finished on the podium. So you've been super consistent. You've got a new teammate who can start to help you out a bit as well. So I think the future's looking bright. You're definitely in a secure position, in a very comfortable position. So congratulations on a brilliant podium once again, Fanf, and to lead the Jarvis Championship by a long way still as well, mate.
Yes, thanks, mate. Thanks for the commentary as well, and congratulations to Reese and Clark, of course, with on the podium.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks, Fanf.
Yes, no problem.
So well done to Fanfinus there, who is the championship leader and gets another podium, makes it 9 podiums from 10 races, and well done to Reese as well on a brilliant race win by 10 seconds, a dominant display. So congratulations to all involved. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching and supporting as you always do. I really appreciate it. We'll be back for Sunday. We've got a break, so we are off now. We'll be back a week on Sunday for the next Grand Prix. Enjoy the summer break. Enjoy the bank holiday. We will see you all in 2 weeks' time. Enjoy it. Take a break. Take a breather. And have a great weekend, everybody.
What a race, man.